During the Cold War, one plane inspired awe and fear without firing a shot, the SR-71 Blackbird. It outran every missile, slipped past radar, and became a timeless icon of American ingenuity. Retired in the 1990s, many thought nothing like it would ever fly again. Now, whispers of its successor, the SR-72, son of Blackbird, hint at a rebirth, promising hypersonic speeds that could leave its predecessor behind. The project remains cloaked in secrecy. What is the SR-72? Why the mystery? And could it truly surpass its legendary ancestor? Why reconnaissance still matters? Military power doesn't mean much without intelligence. Having the largest fleets or the most advanced missiles is useless if you don't know what the enemy is doing. Reconnaissance, finding out what's happening in real time, remains the beating heart of modern security. Satellites, electronic eavesdropping, and cyber tools now shoulder much of this burden, but satellites can't always be repositioned fast enough, and drones can't always reach deep into hostile territory. When information is needed instantly, reconnaissance aircraft still play an irreplaceable role. They can penetrate defended airspace, reroute on command, and provide immediate tactical intelligence. And during the 1960s, the US fielded a plane that redefined what reconnaissance could mean, the SR-71 Blackbird. The legend of the SR-71 Blackbird, built by Lockheed's Skunk Works division, the SR-71 was unlike anything that had flown before. Its sleek black design wasn't just for looks, it was engineered to scatter radar waves and to survive blistering speeds. Flying at over Mach 3, more than 3 times the speed of sound, and at altitudes above 80,000 feet, the Blackbird was effectively untouchable. Surface-to-air missiles launched against it would run out of energy long before reaching their target. Pilots often joke that their best defense against being shot at was simply to accelerate. Its performance was breathtaking. In 1976, one Blackbird set the New York to London speed record, crossing the Atlantic in just 1 hour and 54 minutes. To put that in perspective, the Concorde, a supersonic passenger jet, needed almost 3 hours. A regular Boeing 747 would take more than 6. Yet despite its brilliance, the Blackbird was plagued by practical problems. Operating costs were astronomical, maintenance was exhausting, and pilots needed extreme training, including special pressure suits similar to what astronauts wore. After the fall of the Soviet Union, the aircraft's main adversary disappeared, and so did its justification. By 1999, NASA retired the final SR-71s. Why the world needs something faster? At the dawn of the 21st century, many believed satellites and drones would replace manned reconnaissance aircraft entirely, yet the realities of modern warfare have proved otherwise. Today's threats are no longer confined to the standoff between two superpowers. Instead, they are fragmented, fast-moving, and highly unpredictable. Local conflicts can erupt in places where satellites cannot reposition in time, while asymmetric warfare and non-state actors demand intelligence that is immediate and adaptable. Even drones, despite their versatility, are vulnerable in heavily defended airspace. These challenges revived the case for a new kind of reconnaissance platform, one not just supersonic but hypersonic, capable of flying beyond Mach 5 and outpacing virtually anything on Earth. Birth of the SR-72 concept. The first rumors of an SR-71 successor emerged in 2007, though little evidence backed them. It wasn't until 2013 that Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works gave the world something tangible. Engineers revealed to Aviation Week that they were developing a demonstrator aircraft about 60 feet long, capable of reaching Mach 6. The idea caused a sensation. Servers at the publication even crashed under the weight of the public's curiosity. For the first time, the Blackbird's spiritual successor had a name, SR-72. 5 years later, Lockheed hinted that a working prototype might already exist. Eyewitnesses described seeing a mysterious unmanned aircraft escorted by US Air Force jets into Plant 42 in Palmdale, California, home of Skunk Works. Was it the SR-72? Lockheed declined to comment, only fueling speculation. The secret to hypersonic speed, TBCC engines. The greatest obstacle to hypersonic flight is propulsion. Conventional turbojet engines work well up to about Mach 2.5 or 3, but beyond that, the air becomes too hot and dense. Compressors fail, fuel can't combust properly, and engines simply break down. On the other hand, ramjets and scramjets thrive at hypersonic speeds, but they don't work at all during takeoff or at low velocity. They need huge volumes of air rushing through them to ignite fuel. The solution? Combine them. Lockheed, in partnership with Aerojet Rocketdyne, has been working on a turbine-based combined cycle engine since 2006. The turbine-based combined cycle would switch between a turbojet for low speeds and a scramjet for high speeds, creating a seamless transition from the runway to Mach 6 design isn't just theoretical. In fact, a Hollywood version of it appeared in Top Gun: Maverick 2022 in the form of the fictional Darkstar aircraft. The movie's producers worked with Skunk Works to create a realistic design, leading many to wonder, was Darkstar a teaser for the SR-72? Digital engineering and 3D printing. One reason hypersonic aircraft are possible now, but weren't decades ago, is digital manufacturing. In 2018, Lockheed officials admitted that even 5 years earlier, the engines would have melted themselves apart. Today, advanced 3D printing allows them to produce components with built-in cooling channels, strong enough to endure repeated high-temperature flights. The airframe itself will also rely on exotic materials. At Mach 6, aerodynamic heating generates temperatures that can melt traditional metals. That's why the SR-72 will likely be built from a mix of carbon composites, ceramics, and heat-resistant alloys, similar to what's used on intercontinental ballistic missiles and space shuttles. A shift toward autonomy. Another leap forward will be artificial intelligence and autonomy. Unlike the SR-71, which required highly trained pilots in pressure suits, the SR-72 may be designed primarily as an unmanned aircraft. A manned version could still exist, but automation reduces risk, eliminates the need for special life support systems, and opens the door to continuous operations. This fits with broader Pentagon goals. The US Air Force and Navy are building a network of 6th-generation aircraft, including the B-21 Raider stealth bomber and next-generation air dominance fighters. The SR-72 could slot into this system as a hypersonic scout and precision strike platform, providing real-time intelligence or delivering weapons at unmatched speed. The hypersonic arms race. One reason the SR-72 remains shrouded in secrecy is the global arms race. In 2018, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the Kinzhal hypersonic missile and the Avangard glide vehicle. These weapons were touted as unstoppable, yet during the war in Ukraine, some were intercepted by aging US-made Patriot missile systems. Still, the threat is real. China, Russia, and the US are all pouring resources into hypersonic technology. The SR-72 is likely part of America's response, but unlike missiles, it could be reusable, flexible, and able to perform reconnaissance and strike missions alike. The road ahead. Lockheed Martin has remained tight-lipped about the SR-72's development timeline, though many experts predict it could take flight before 2030. Unlike the unmistakable silhouette of the Blackbird, its successor may be far less recognizable, blending stealth, advanced materials, and digital engineering to create an aircraft that is not only blisteringly fast, but also exceptionally survivable. While it may never match the visual mystique of the SR-71, the SR-72's potential capabilities could surpass anything that has ever flown. Designed to penetrate heavily defended airspace at unmatched speeds, it could gather real-time intelligence before adversaries even realize it is overhead, deliver precision strikes against critical targets while remaining nearly unstoppable, and operate as part of a fully integrated network alongside next-generation bombers, fighters, and autonomous systems. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the SR-72 and the legacy of the Blackbird, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below on what you think of the SR-72 project. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.